It's the morning Bork sesh. Jalapeno poppers with the chicken strips. Jalapeno poppers? You made jalapeno poppers? I want jalapeno poppers. Would it do? Would it do indeed? Nobody's new here. Everybody's old here. Is this what gay looks like? Yes. Absolutely. 100%. That's what band looks like. That is also the case. That is what band looks like. Stuffed bacon wrapped jalapeno poppers are perfection. Yeah. Yes. That is true. Yep. See what I mean? That Lamar Jackson has got to go on the list. Congratulations. Lamar Jackson is going on the list. 100%. Bro, you're bored? Same. Same. This chat gets hella boring right at the beginning. Because it's literally just like 12-year-olds and morons. And it takes about half an hour for it to chill, too. Half an hour worth of my mods banning probably 80 to 90% of people that chat. And then at the end of that 30 minutes, what's left is half smart. people. So yeah, I'm hella bored too. But this is what you have to do if you want to have a stream on YouTube Shorts. There's a tidal wave of absolute fucktards. Just don't smoke. Lamar Jackson edit. Can I get a shout out? Etc. Right? Just bot. Zero brain behavior for about 30 minutes. It'll take 30 minutes for my mods to muck rake enough garbage off the screen to actually have a conversational stream. And so that is one of the sacrifices that you make if you use this platform. So if you care at all about your chat, you're going to be dealing with people whose parents never read a book to them when they were little, people who were socially promoted starting in the 3rd grade and never learned basic grammar. And you know what I mean? I don't have any time for people like that. I don't have any time for dum-dums. I can't help them. You know, I'm not a trained teacher. I'm not a therapist. I can't figure out why they skipped school. But I have to deal with them anyway. You know, just... Yep, that's social promotion. And it's become super common. You know, when I was a kid, it existed. Super, super uncommon. Super uncommon. It was something that was done really rarely. Now it's actually common for kids who cannot pass the 3rd grade to go ahead and get put up to the 4th grade so they don't fall behind their peers socially. What do you think the solution to that problem in school is? Smaller class sizes, specialized education. That's it. It's like, it's not even like a it's not even like a question amongst educators. It's like, it's well known what the answer to this problem is. Smaller class sizes and broader special education. So instead of Tommy not getting it for 2nd grade and going on to 3rd grade with no basis of knowledge, Tommy goes to a special class with other kids who can't get the 2nd grade, and he does remedials. That's how you do it. Maybe have parents who actually care. There's that too. But how do you enforce that? Parents as a monolith are not an institution. Public education is. You can change an institution. Can't change people. People are going to still keep squirting out, and you can see it here. You know what I mean? These chats would be a whole lot less retarded if people cared about their kids. There's a lot of people that range through here. Mom and dad didn't give a fuck, didn't teach them how to read, didn't give them any kind of like positive reinforcement in their life. Same thing to their teachers. They just kind of skated and socially promoted through school, and now they're everybody else's problem. And a lot of them are too stupid to even know that everybody's staring and pointing and going like, is that a retarded person? They're too far gone. So, you know what I mean? Printing. Some parents just don't have the educational attainment necessary to help their kids. I mean, I guess the question I would have is if you have the knowledge of a 2nd grader and you know that you won't be able to help your child with its schooling, why have a child? You know what I mean? It's a question. How, before we even get to that, Blue Noble, condom? I don't think they're thinking that far ahead. Yeah, which is why maybe there needs to be a bureaucratic institution that thinks ahead for them. Because the end result of them not thinking ahead is neglected children who are behind children who aren't neglected and never catch up. They become a burden and a drag on the rest of us because nobody cared enough to raise them properly. Yeah, this one, jail time. Clean ass record. You can look me up. Don't just come in and say hello like everybody's waiting for you to introduce yourself. Shh. Put your ear to the ground, listen to the conversation, participate if you can. I'm saying hi to you, and I'm not saying hi back. This ain't the social club. You didn't just walk in and everybody like, who's that? I hope he says hello. Shut up. And participate in the conversation like an adult. Don't just walk into the middle of a bunch of adults having a conversation and go, hi! We know you need attention. We know you crave it. Just keep your seeking of it to an absolute minimum here. You high on ego with 74 viewers, someone saying hello, huh? Does it matter how many viewers there are? Is this not my backyard because there's 74 viewers? You get to make the rules? I don't care if there's 2 viewers. Both of them will follow my rules. Didn't have to kill the man. That's the way it works around here. I don't give, like, let me ask you a question. If you're chilling out in public with a group of adults, right? You guys are having a conversation back and forth and you're listening and responding to each other. And then all of a sudden somebody walks in and goes, how many chances are you going to give that motherfucker before you tell him to kick rocks? Same thing here. You get one chance to go, and when you do that, you get banned because nobody wants to talk to you. Yeah, you don't get infinity chances because you think it's different on the internet than it is in public. It isn't. Well, at least not here. Some people let it go on. I don't. I've got a gang of goons that comb through everything you guys post and get rid of the people that don't reach that 70 IQ barrier. If you need to be in special ed classes, you probably can't post here. If you can't read a book or think books are boring, you probably can't post here. If you don't know the difference between there, and there, you probably can't post here. Etc., etc., etc. Okay, so it's normal to walk up to a group of people and just start interacting in their conversation instead of saying hello? Yeah. If there's like a big public conversation coming on, you don't immediately stop it and go, hello! No. That's socially maladaptive behavior. If you want to participate in a big public conversation that's going on, you sidle up to it, listen, find out what's going on, and insinuate yourself when you have something to say. That's exactly how you'd handle it in public. But here, you come in and go, look at me, attention, attention, attention. It just doesn't work here. That kind of behavior gets you sent in the corner over here. Baby need attention. Baby can go find it from another streamer. I talk to adults over here. This is an 18 plus streams. And that's that. Always has been. Always will be. I know people don't like it, but you know, there's absolutely no way that I would enjoy sitting out here on my back porch in this beautiful forest I live in, watching gibberish and retards. I don't hang around with morons and retards in my real life, and I certainly don't do it here. So I know people have a problem with that. They have a problem with me enforcing the don't say anything that you wouldn't say in public rule. But I'm sorry, that's the way it works with me. This is not the place. Curious about this baby license? Wouldn't this be an encroachment of natural rights of bodily autonomy? Oh, absolutely. Yeah. If two retarded, broke morons want to get together and create a kid that they're going to abuse and neglect and then throw onto society so we have to deal with morons that can't read, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I think that the government needs to step in between your bodily autonomy and that child's right to have a loving parent, at least one. A loving and capable parent that can be relied upon to take care of that child's needs until it can take care of itself. Every child should have that. And if there are people out there brewing up children and not giving them that, they should be stopped. Orphanages and the foster system are full to bursting. This is a law. This is some authoritarian shit. Because you can bet you take a dumb, drug addicted, selfish person and you tell them, guess what, kid? You can't have babies. You're a mess. Fuck you, bitch. It's my right to have babies. Try telling a dumb motherfucker that they're dumb. You see how they rampage up in here. When I point out that the only thing that ever gets somebody banned or timed out in here is being too retarded to talk to adults, people get fucking mad, but it's the truth. It's the truth. If you don't know how to read the room, your shit stays up for about 0.5 seconds up in here. And your ass never comes back on that alt again. That's the way it works. If I have to re-up my certification, take all these tests to stay as teacher, we should have standards and minimum requirements to be a parent. It's not eugenics, it's having standards. Exactly. It's a legitimately pro-life position. I care about the kids after they're born. I care about them having at least one loving parent or guardian that will raise them up, do what's right by them, engage with them, teach them how to be an adult, teach them how to interact with other people, teach them the skills that they're going to need to interact with other people, and then shoo them out the door. And we've got a complete person to work with in society. We don't have third grade dropouts that are 30 years old washing up on our shores constantly. Because there's no way for me to just like look at you and know that you're not worth talking to. And so it ends up being a big, huge waste of people's time because, adults tend to be polite and give people the benefit of the doubt. But there's a lot of you out there that if people knew your education level, knew your ability to communicate by looking at you, people would avoid you like you were fucking radioactive. That's a problem. Where do you think the male loneliness epidemic is coming from? Parents squirting out kids and not caring enough to socialize them, letting them cocoon themselves into an autistic shithole and become incels and neets. Of course, there's a male loneliness epidemic. There's a there's a lack of male independence epidemic. There's a male independence epidemic as well. Yeah. I don't understand how one can't find a mate. I'll explain it to you. If you are raised by two people who don't care about each other and don't care about you, and you fall through the cracks in school, you have absolutely nothing to offer a mate, and you are immediately removed from the selective process off rip as soon as you open your mouth. That's how someone can't find a mate. That's it. That's 100% the answer to the male loneliness epidemic. If you have nothing to offer a mate, i.e., you're retarded, you're jobless, you're out of shape, you got no drive, can't handle your own shit, who's gonna come bob on you? Nobody. Who's gonna have children with you? Nobody. Who's gonna come scoop you up out of your mom's house and raise you while they raise your children? Nobody. So that's 100% the answer to the male loneliness epidemic. Nobody wants to date somebody who's addicted to video games, terminally online, and still living with their parents. Period. Explain why it's the dumbest men with the most kids then, Mr. Paul. That's the problem. That's the problem, is that the dumbs don't stop to consider putting on a condom. And guess what dumbs make when they slap private parts with other dumbs? Can you tell me what a dumb makes when he slaps private parts with another dumb? I'll give you, I want to hear it Cody say it. So when a dumb who doesn't think ahead slaps his privates up against another dumb, what happens? I know, I want to hear Cody's answer to it. What happens when a mongoloid moron bumps his private parts up against another one? What happens? Cody? Hello? Cody? Knock, knock? Asking you a question here, buddy. Are you still here in the conversation? I got to put you on a timer, Cody? A lot more saves for the cooperations. You happen, Cody. The answer is you happen. I want you to look at that sentence you just typed. You're a grown-ass adult, and that's how you communicate with other adults. A lot more saves for the cooperation. You can't even type. You can't even type. You happen. When two morons bump uglies and half raise a kid, society has to deal with you. People that can't speak. People that can't type. People that can't communicate. Cooperations is not a word. Recuperations is not a word, bro. You happen, Cody. People who can't spell. You mistyped 3 times. I think you don't know how to spell it. And you're too dumb to go get Grammarly so that people don't immediately know that you're retarded. So dumb you don't even know how to get the free app that hides how dumb you are. You happen, Cody. You happen. Anything else? And you're the problem. Complete self-awareness level, 0. Out here trying to participate in an adult conversation, can't read a book, got no frame of reference. And everybody, for some reason, is pretending like you're a full-fledged adult in society. We're not, like, directly heading off the problem at the pass. We're just kind of letting these dumb half-humans run around and pretend that they're stable enough to have children because it's their right to, or whatever. These quasi-adults running around, everybody giving them deference that you'd give an adult, but as soon as you talk to them, just gibberish and moronism comes out their mouth. I just don't care. We know. We know. But I'm answering your question. This is what happens when you allow dumb people to rampantly breed and raise people who can't read, don't care to learn how to read, have no frame of reference, right? And the rest of us end up being the village that has to raise your adult child. You get it, Cody? You happen. Somebody too dumb to have a conversation happens. Somebody that wants to use a word that they've never spelled in their life. This is what I'm talking about. You. I don't care. Yet another person who was raised to think if they show emotion, it's weakness. So they go through their life pretending like they don't care. Pathetic shit. Yeah. 100%. 100% pathetic shit. Well, it's just a lack of anything else to add or say, right? I don't care is the moron's way of bowing out of a conversation that's way over their head. I hate your echo chamber. Oh, look, Wendell's back. No. Don't unban Wendell, Pranob. Wendell's a zoo exhibit here. He's the only one that's exempt from the moron clause because he's our gorilla in the zoo exhibit. The lack of self-awareness on this guy is top-notch. He's a specimen. I'm sorry, I have to say that there are people out there that just truly don't give a shit of what other people say, just saying. Did you skip the grade where they taught punctuation? Periods, commas. Like, let me ask you a question. During your upbringing, did you hear the term run-on sentence? Did that ever get said to you at any point during your childhood? Did anybody ever say the term run-on sentence to you? If not, they did you a massive disservice because you communicate like I would expect a 4th grader to communicate. Yikes. Do you keep him around in the same vein as 19th century British lords keeping yard hermits, except erudite scholars, they're dribbling idiots? Yeah. I keep a small collection of human zoo exhibits here. You know, I'll deign somebody so self-unaware that, like, they're absolutely going in an exhibit. You know what I mean? And Wendell is one of those dudes. How do you find so many lifeless losers to be your zombies? It's called charisma. You know, when you're charismatic and talented, people listen to you and will watch what you do. And you don't have to hide behind 17 layers of alts and play coy about who you are. You can just say who you are, and people gravitate to it. It's weird, I know. I know it's something that you couldn't try if you wanted. Yeah, I'm 100% talented. No, 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 no. Here's what it is. I'm untalented. I've just worked for longer than anybody you've ever known in podcasting, and I make a better living than you at it. I'm just lucky. You better believe your ass I'm talented. Yep. If I wasn't, we'd be watching the Wendell Wynn show right now. 80 people are watching me on my throwaway Who Gives a Fuck stream where I talk shit in my backyard. Smug levels astronomical. You don't like it, you can leave. I am talented, yeah. Yeah. That's 80 more people than know you exist. Am I right? That's 80 more people than would know if you disappeared off the fucking planet. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that wild, Wendell? I think Wendell might be a little masochistic, but that's why he's a good zoo exhibit, because he clearly has no pride as a human being. I would have never come slinking back on that account. But you know what, dude? If the gorilla wants to come out and display himself for the fucking people to ogle, I'm not gonna stop him. No, Wendell needs more than a hug. Wendell needs a rewind. Wendell needs better parents. Wendell needs a better upbringing, better education. Wendell needs a lot more than a hug. A hug ain't gonna fix Wendell. You don't care what fat stoner losers think. You have a weird way of showing it. You have a weird way of showing it, Wendell. You show up for hours in a fat loser stoner's chat and react to everything he says. So for somebody who doesn't care what fat loser stoners think, you kind of care a lot what fat loser stoners think, bro. Next. See, this is why you're the ape in the exhibit. You can't win. There's nothing you could do, dude. If you pulled out a flaming sword right now and cut my head off, people would still think you were lame for it. There's literally nothing you can do. Literally nothing you can do. Oh, Wojak with the caved in head, I was just trolling meme. Yeah, we know. We know, buddy. We know, buddy. You see what I mean? There's literally nothing you can do. You think there's a win to be salvaged here, or your little ego thinks there is one. Dude, you lost fucking an hour into the last stream. You've been my personal pet monkey since then. Yeah, he's the Wojak with the head caved in. I was just trolling. Bro, you got mangled. And you're back here on main again to get mangled again. And you're trying to salvage a win out of it. You should have just slunk off into the darkness and created another alt like you usually do. That's what I would have done. You were begging me last night to ban you so you could do it. Begging. Like you literally were down on your knees begging me to order my mods to ban you. And I told them that they absolutely could not. Because you desperately want to wipe the slate clean and come back as Joe Blow 72 and try again. Because this one's burnt, bro. You burnt your fucking whole persona on this one. You need to rebrand. If I were you, I'd burn this alt and come back. And that's, you know what? That's a kindness. I just did you a kindness. Bro had a sleepless night. Oh, no, I know. He was up all night thinking about that spanking. Saw I was live. Whew. Okay, Hey, did you find the Life of Paul episode funny? It's my favorite in a while. It was fun. Yeah, it was fun. TJ did a lot of writing on that. Spent a lot of time with it. Did anything? Oh, you got some aviators. I like aviators. I had aviators when I had my head shaved, and I think it looks pretty good. I think the bald with aviators looks pretty good. Yeah, text me a picture, and then if you don't care, I'll show it to the people. I'll show them you rocking your fucking aviators, bro. New viewer, what's your deal? Just a podcaster, man. These are my like fuck around, throw away, just kind of chill in my backyard streams. I've got a show on YouTube that pays the bills called Onion Nuggets. Bald with aviators is the Paul look. Oh, the original. Coolsville. Coolsville. You'll never be banned, Wendell. You can't be banned. I've forbidden my mods from banning you. You are an official zoo exhibit of this stream. You don't even have to check, bro. You don't even have to check. You have carte blanche, bro. You have the aura of the zoo enclosure, and nobody's allowed to, nobody's allowed to go in the zoo enclosure except me. I'm the zookeeper. So no, you ain't got to worry about it, Wendell. You're never going to be banned. There are certain things that aren't allowed to be discussed in here. YouTube will pull comments. I have an extensive list of words that aren't allowed to be said in here. So I'm such a fragile pussy, am I? I seem to be going head up with you. Hey, bud. Discord? 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 Would you like to talk with me? I'll put you on speakerphone and you can have your way. We'll get an extra close look at the zoo exhibit if you want. You got a nut in your sack? You got all day and all night to hang out in my chat. You got a nut in the sack? Yeah, look, a bunch of people saying the word pussy. Pussy's not on the list. Hey, Wendell, I'm at Paul's Ego on Discord. Oh, you have a life? Really? You remember yesterday when I told you I was putting you on the clock because I had X amount of time? And you were like, what are you doing? What are you even doing? You've got a life? This is the second stream that you've camped. It's 2 in a row. Tippy toe into reality with Wendell. Let us hear you. Tippy toe. Thanks for the fun zoo exhibit. You're welcome. I keep a couple of them around here, but lately the gorilla exhibit has been the best. The ape exhibit has been super lively lately. So no, I appreciate it though. It's hard to type because you've blocked so many words like a wimp. 90, like I said, 90 to 95% of the words on my list are variations of the N word. Yeah, but if you're having trouble typing, I'll put you on speakerphone. Give me a call, dude. You hate my guts. You want to troll me. You want to own me. You want to prove that I'm just a total piece of shit. Pop on the Discord. Sure? Cool. Neat. At Paul's Ego on Discord. Let me know when you've sent me the DM or friend request, and I'll call you. Give me a second. I'm going to go put a hoodie on because it's a little cold out here this morning. Call in a young crackaphone. All right. Have you added me to Discord there, Wendy? Are you ready to do your business with me? All right, so I am here in my notifications. Is there any... So which one, who are you? I don't have any new friend requests. So I'm at Paul's Ego over there. Super easy. Just send me a friend request and then I'll add you and we'll talk. You're making one. Make sure you don't take too long because it literally takes like 15 seconds to make a Discord. So, this is an expiring offer to talk to you. So get on it, little guy. Chop, chop. Take as long as you want. And then I won't talk to you then. How's that? Chop, chop. Hop to it. How creative do you think his name will be? Well, he's making a new one because if he adds me on his real one, it'll reveal who he really is. I don't believe for a second this dude doesn't have a Discord. So he's hoping that I don't recognize Brad's voice. That's what's going on here. Because this is 100% Bradley. 100% Cokehead Brad. So he can't come at me on his main because I already know who that is. So he's hoping that I don't immediately recognize who he is if he just changes his name. This is the level of coked out stupidity that we're dealing with here. But come on, dude. Takes like 5 seconds to make a Discord, bro. Just revealing you're slow. No, not that Brad. He's just another Bradley. This is a different Bradley, not our Bradley. Oh, it's 100% Brad. He was obsessed with defending Sweet Pea, who is Bradley's account over on Reddit. Obsessed with it. Nobody in the world cares about that dude other than that dude. Yeah. It's the cokehead guy that I banned from the first Salt Rackus for being a fucking motormouth cokehead. Wendell, at Wendell628. Cool. All right. Go ahead and send me a friend request. I still don't have a friend request from you. I'm at Paul's Ego. No numbers. That's how it works, buddy. I already sent it to you. I have a friend request from somebody named Bagel 1 minute ago. Is that your display name, Bagel? With an anime girl? This you? Bagel with an anime avatar? Is this you? Bagel? Is that you with an anime little girl avatar? Is that you? Little girl, anime, bagel. Is that you? Because I don't see any friend requests from @Wendell. So are you Bagel? Anime girl avatar Bagel? Is that you? You're typing hella slow now. I sent you a friend request. I don't know why it's not showing up. Are you Bagel from 1 minute ago? Is this you, Bagel? Let's see. Hold on, I can refresh it. I can refresh it live. Here's my friend requests. There you go. Uh-oh. Bagel? Is this you? Bagel? There it is. Look at that. Refreshing. Refreshing. I'm not seeing Wendell win. I'm seeing Bagel from a minute ago or two. That's you. So you are Bagel with the little anime girl for an avatar? That's you? Just make it. Yeah, that's you. Okay. All right. Accepted. You hit the green button that looks like a phone. It's green and it's jiggling. You hit that button. Huh. No answer. Well, that's interesting.
Hello.
Oh, wow. You figured it out?
I'm not Wendell, but
Oh, you're not?
no, I'm not.
Hey, what's up then?
Want to see my view though? I can show you. Very nice.
Whoa. Whoa. That's pretty.
Yup.
Look, everybody. He lives
I know,
in a pretty place. Not Wendell has a cool life.
Setup right here.
Yeah, look, Not Wendell has a pretty cool life. Pretty cool setup there, Not Wendell.
I'm not Wendell.
I know you're not. I know you're not because you have shit. I know you're not. I know you're not because you live in a nice place and you've got cool shit sitting around. So you're definitely not Wendell.
I am Bagel.
Yeah, you're Bagel. Yeah, you're Bagel. Dude, yeah, okay. I see a little bit of weeaboo-ishness going on, but you know what? I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna judge too harshly the weebishness, okay?
It's all over my computer too.
Oh, Jesus Christ, bro. Okay, you might have a problem, but you do got a cool ass setup, bro.
I have like things though, like books of them. So,
yeah. Well, hey, you know, hey, everybody's got their interests. You know, do you have one of those anime titty mouse pads?
I do have one actually. It's somewhere.
Yeah, you should get that out because I think that would complete the set. That would complete your look, Bagel.
I actually have. I don't know if you've seen this before. So this, it looks like a rock, but it's actually not a rock. It's a meteorite. It's really cool.
Oh, that's a meteor? That is fucking cool.
From Germany.
That's more proof that you're not Wendell, because Wendell wouldn't have anything cool like a meteorite.
It's called moldavite. Here, I can show you how it looks.
Yeah. Yeah, put a light on that bitch.
Yeah. You can like see kind of through it because it's like glass.
Yeah, and it's like green.
Yeah. Yeah, yep.
And that's 100% a meteorite that fell out of space.
100. You can search it up. It's called Moldavite. I can send you the name of it.
That's cool, bro.
Oh shit! I just dropped my phone. Some of it is broken though, very sadly. Like I dropped it one time.
Well, you know.
And I did that by accident.
Dude, you got a Louis V mouse pad right there, dude?
Oh no, it's my wallet.
You got a Louis V wallet?
Yeah.
You're definitely not Wendell, bro. Wendell could never.
I don't know what. I mean, I can show you some Pokemon if you like Pokemon.
I like some Pokemons. Oh, you got cards? Yeah. What's your most expensive Pokemon card? Whip out your most expensive Pokemon card right now.
I have a lot. Like these.
What is your most? But everybody has their top.
These are like Japanese vintage. Like all of these.
Oh, those are those all worth like a lot of money? I'm
not sure about all of them. I haven't calculated it, but.
Do you have like a Charizard or whatever?
No, I don't. I have Dark Blastoise, if that counts.
I don't know if that counts.
I have Mewtwo, Black Star promo, or first edition stuff. It's not really much.
Yeah.
I have for Pokemon.
I see. Yeah, I don't have any Pokemon, so I know like 3 of them, I think. Oh yeah, that's cool. I like that. That's Jordan, yeah? Or no, who is that? Duncan.
Scotty.
Oh, it's Pippin. I couldn't see. It's a little weird watching this through my phone, through your phone, through my phone. But yeah, no, cool.
Is Wendell gonna call you? Oh, I kind of want to see that happen.
I don't know. Wendell, are you gonna call me, bro? I don't think he's gonna call me, Bagel. I'm gonna let you go, Bagel. Thanks for being chill.
Yeah, all good, man. Hope you have a good show.
Yeah, bye, buddy. Wow, Bagel's cool. He trolled. Aw. He trolled. What a fucking successful trolling. Yeah. What a horrible, horrible thing he's done. Oh my god, I'll never recover. He trolled by being a sackless pussy that won't, like actually face up to the person that he spends days and days and days furtively discussing behind the scenes and shit. He's got all the chance in the world to just, like, put one little pinky toe into the real world, and he just won't do it. Oh, man. The gorilla exhibit. You see why? You see now everybody sees why the gorilla exhibit is in enforcement. Like, Wendell is content, bro. Wendell is content. I like that wallet Bagel has. Beautiful LV. Mindy got one of those when we went to Capri. Oh, cool. Neat. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I could ever own any Louis V nothing. The most high fashion thing that I own is I have a pair of Gucci sunglasses. And that's enough for me. Crazy thing is, in the very off chance he actually got you to have the perfect launch pad for a channel of his own, but that would require actual wit, charisma, and most of all balls. Well, yeah. You know, you can't have it all. Probably a fake, probably. Would they let you into the Audemars store? Yeah, it's a weird, it's a French word. So Audemars is Audemars, and Piguet is Piguet, I think, but it doesn't matter. It's a weird ass fucking brand, but I mean, they make a lot of people would argue they make the greatest watches in the world. Like there are a lot of high end watch enthusiasts and collectors that put AP at the top of the list in terms of well, like the AP Royal Oak, right, is their flagship watch, and it is super hard to get and super retains all of its value, and a lot of them have jumped massively in value. So yeah, AP is a super top end brand. Have you gotten over your watch phase? Yeah, I mean, I don't talk about them as much anymore because I know that people are just gonna like. It's not interesting if you're not into it. You know what I mean? The designs were very unique compared to Rolex and Patek. Yeah. Yeah, the Royal Oak, the AP Royal Oak is a really standout thing. It's big and chunky on the wrist, so popular with like rappers and business people. It's got cross appeal. They do beautiful factory diamond set AP Royal Oaks with diamond indices, diamond bezels, if that's your thing, if you're looking for like bling. And I mean, some of the most beautiful work that you'll see done is done by AP in factory. One of the worst things you can do to an AP is take it to a jeweler, have it pitted, and put a bunch of fucking ice on it. It actually like destroys the value. How much more do historical watches cost? You know what? That's actually a good question because it depends. It's like, if you want to get a Rolex, right? You can actually get certain vintage Rolexes, right? For a couple grand. Which I know that's a lot of money to pay for a fucking watch, but if you want to get like a brand new Rolex, you're gonna pay, 30 grand. Easy. If you pay anything. How do you feel about Jacob and Co? Wild watches. I think they're a little bit too fucking big and gaudy for me, but wild ass watches. Like that roulette wheel one that they do. He's got the Astronomia roulette where it's got like a working roulette wheel on the watch. It's fucking kind of wild. It's got an oil derrick one made for oil barons that has like an oil derrick that actually works on it. Pretty wild. It's an overrated watch company. I mean, I see a lot of people go out and spend like $800, $900, $1,000 or more on a Tag watch, Tag Heuer. I think Tags are pretty much just like dime a dozen type watches, but people pay hella money for them. You know what I mean? I don't think that they look all that special. I mean, they're well made. It's not like you're throwing your money away or something buying a Tag, but I feel like Tag is just like a boring watch. I feel like if you're going to spend that type of money, you could get a ton more. Movado is kind of like, you see a lot of Movados on people's wrist, and they've actually started to come back. The Movado design, which is one indice, so a totally black face, 2 gold hands, and 1 indice at the 12 o'clock. 1 circular gold indice. That's the Movado. That's an overrated watch, in my opinion. You ever wish you were more athletic? I was super athletic when I was a little kid, and yeah, sometimes I wish that I could just like snap my fingers, lose a bunch of weight, and have the type of energy that I think I would have if I was in good shape. Yeah, because I was super athletic as a little kid, You know, I didn't start chunking out until I hit puberty. You know, I was really like a super. I ran. If I went somewhere, I was running. If you could own any watch you wanted, which would it be? I want an Oolong and Sona Zeitwerk Grandmaster Chime. That is my holy grail watch. I'll show you the watch. It is an analog digital watch, if you can believe that sort of thing. I'll get you a picture of it here. It was a pretty unattainable watch. Zeitwerk. Okay, I had the name wrong. I was mixing up the Patek Philippe Grandmaster Chime. The Zeitwerk one that is the Zeitwerk minute repeater. So this is my holy grail watch. And as you can see, it is an analog digital watch. So it is entirely mechanical, but the time display is entirely digital. And so when the minutes change, it flips a disc that has a bunch of actual digits on it. When the hour changes, it flips a disc that has all of the hours on it. It has an optional minute repeater function. You can see down at the bottom of it here, there are these two little triangular kind of looking pieces. You guys see what I'm talking about? Down at the very bottom of the watch, there are these kind of on either side, there are these two semi-triangular pieces. Those are actually hammers. And if you look at it, let me see if they've got a close-up picture of it. Yeah. If you look at so those are actually little striking hammers, and you can see all the way around the watch. There's a dulcimer, right? So you see that little, it's like separated. So that little triangular piece strikes against that piece that goes all the way up and around the watch on both sides and creates a chime. Ding, 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 ding. So this is one of, I think, the greatest watch in the world. And by what I consider to be the greatest watch brand in the world. Oolong and Sona. They're a German brand out of Glashütte, Germany. And they make some of the most compelling timepieces in the world. Oh yeah, no, they come in all kinds of, they'll put whatever strap you want on it. When you order one of these, you get put on a fucking waiting list, and they design it and engrave it to your specifications and stuff. So it's not like you go in and just pick one up, you know, like it's a whole process, and you get exactly what you want at the end of the day. I actually I'll show you the face. I like the face more, but the chime function is just so compelling on that Zeitwerk. But I'll show you the black Zeitwerk. Let's see. Yeah. This is I would want one of these too. This is the original Zeitwerk black face in rose gold with the alligator black strap. No chime function, but this is the OG. So you got your seconds on the bottom wheel, and the top wheel is a power reserve indicator. That's a sexy ass watch right there. Yeah. I mean, if I was super rich, I'd want one of each. But my absolute top end grail watch is the minute repeater. Yeah. Or two on one wrist, bro. Wear them both on the same wrist. Flex two watches. Well, here's the problem, Nick, is, and you're talking about the not the Grandmaster chime, right? Because that they don't make that. The minute repeater one you're talking about. That price is based on buying it directly from Longa. So you can't really do it. Like they're so back ordered. And so on the secondary market, they go for closer to 25 to 30K. Yeah, I think that's a hopeful price that they're listing on Chrono 24. Nobody sells these because Longa is a high-end watch brand, and so they don't make a ton of watches and release them. They make a very few pieces for select customers, and when one of these watches gets out in the wild, they find out who it was that sold it, and you never get to buy from them again. That's the way it works. Oh, I'm sorry, Wendell. Are you starved for attention? Do you need some more attention, little guy? It's okay. We're still eyeballing you. It's just we're walking around the zoo, Wendell. We're looking at other things right now. We'll be back around to your enclosure soon. Oh, he needs it desperately, bro. You guys know I'm still twirling you. So desperate for my fucking approval, little guy. It's okay. I'll tell one of the zookeepers to get you some more sugar cane to chew on while you're sitting over there, okay? Do you like Holzkern? I don't know. I've never looked at them. I like German watches. Sounds like a German watch brand. Men's watches. Oh, got the meteorite dial kind of thing. I like this watch. I really do. I think that's mother of pearl dials, or I like rare earth dials. Are kind of cool. I don't own any rare earth dials. That's solid wood. Interesting. Solar watches. That's kind of cool. Oh, this is really cool. This is like a walnut leaf that they've preserved and made into the watch face. I really like that with a custom made wooden. I don't know how comfortable that would be to wear, but the entire thing is enameled wood. That's not bad for $299. $399, marble and silver. This is actually a pretty cool watches. I'm not gonna lie to you. Best watch for the apocalypse. You want to get for the apocalypse, what is that brand? Fucking Sylvester Stallone is like the brand ambassador for it. I'm trying to remember the name. Is it Pagani? Oh, Pagani is that's a car. I'm trying to think of the name of it, and it's just escaping me right now. But there's a brand of watches that have like compasses and survival kits and blah blah blah. They're huge, chunky. It's not Pagani. What is it? Fuck. Panerai. Thank you. I was stuck on Pagani because of the P, I think. Panerai is an Italian watch brand. They make explorer watches, like watches that are meant to take a beating, dive watches, watches that are multifunctional, have built-in compasses and levels and all kinds of crazy shit, bro. All kinds of wild stuff. I gotta find something with a bigger face and a second hand. Variomedic. I'll show you. You got to get this watch if you can afford it. I don't think it's that expensive. Variomedic. Vario 19 Trench and Medic. Yes, the Variomedic. Let me get a picture of it. Not, yeah, here you go. This is the one you want. Right there. It's got a pulsimeter. You see the red around the bottom is a pulsimeter. This is an actual. This is a brand that makes replica war watches, World War I and World War II war watches, and this is a trench watch that would have been made for a medic with a pulsimeter. And let's see, what are they charging for a Vario medic? You could probably get it cheaper than you could get it on the thing. 40 millimeter, 10 millimeter case thickness, but you want a big watch because you want to be able to read it. It's got that very comfortable, like old school 70s leather strap too, that, kind of like secures it to your wrist without the metal being up against you. So they're very comfortable to wear. $388 from the website. You can probably find them secondhand on, what's that one that somebody mentioned earlier? Timepiece 360 or whatever. Probably find it for 150, $200. Yeah, the strap is cool. Those old 70s leather straps are kind of cool. What you call it? I think Quentin Tarantino made him cool again because he had Brad Pitt wearing a really cool Citizen bullhead with that type of strap in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And now all of a sudden, everybody wants those old 70s leather straps again. But yeah, I like watches still. See, I still keep up with my watch stuff. I just don't talk about it as much. I think that like I've reached a point in my own collection where I'm kind of happy with what I've got. I might want one more watch, and then I think I'm probably done buying watches unless I get super rich. If I get super rich, I'll buy some watches. Still grinding out that Dune game. Kinda. I play it a little bit here and there, but I've just been like, it's been so hard for me to lock in on a video game recently. Maybe rotate some in your collection. I might, yeah. There's a couple that I might like trade. Somebody wanted to do a trade with me or something. I'd trade one of my pieces for one of their pieces or something just to switch it up a little. I've got all my watches are in good shape, so I keep them nice. I watch people play that, and I'm not impressed. It's pretty cool. They nailed the Dune aesthetic pretty well. The sandworm mechanic is kind of interesting and fun. It's not the game. It's me, right? I'm just not really feeling it right now. I guess I'm not feeling video games right now. I'm having trouble paying attention. Ooh. Is there a hobby you just don't understand? Yeah, probably a lot of them. Yeah, I don't know. Collecting Beanie Babies or whatever. I don't understand. Yeah, you're gonna have to make God Emperor if you want to see it. I think that is 100% the truth, because I don't think anybody's gonna tackle that. It had to be you. It had to be you. What'd you say is the best gauntlet you guys have ever done? Huh. God, man, it's so hard. We've done so many of them, and the way that you have to look at content as a content creator is like when you're done, it's over. Like it's out there for people to watch, but I'm on to the next thing. So it's just hard. I don't know, man. I don't know. We've had fun with a lot of them. I think a lot of them turned out to be fun. Maybe the first Weebs Gauntlet was pretty fucking good. That one just felt pretty good. Recent Planet of the Apes movies. I like them. Well, I liked Kingdom. I kind of tapped out of them for a while, but I went and saw Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes in IMAX just on a whim because I was bored. And I thought I'd make fun of it maybe, and I ended up fucking loving that. But that movie was great, man. That movie was fun. So I'm actually looking forward. I think they're making a sequel to that one. So yeah, I like that one a lot. Apes, Jordan Peterson Gauntlet. You like that one? I don't remember anything about it, friend. I can't roll joints, but I can roll blunt for some reason. That said, I feel like pre-rolls I've had are ass. Is that a pre-roll? Yes, this is a pre-roll. Yeah. I don't have that experience. Like the pre-rolls that, well, I have a certain brand that I get at a certain place. And that's that, you know what I mean? I've gotten shitty ass, whack ass pre-rolls, but these are really good pre-rolls. And they're cheap too. Like I wouldn't get them because buying pre-rolls is typically more expensive. These are, it would be less expensive for me to buy my own and roll my own, but these are not like marked all the way up like a lot of pre-rolls are. So they're a good like convenience buy for me. But yeah, it's I'm screeching up against a tea break. I think it's about time for me to take a tolerance break. How long do tolerance breaks last? 2 to 3 weeks. Tea breaks are just about like when you smoke daily, like I do, right? They're about literally smoking less. So you just ration yourself, right? You don't have to quit smoking. You just smoke way less. So what I'll do when it's time for a tea break is I'll set aside 2 joints and I'll be like, this is what I get today. I can smoke these 2 bad boys. I can have one in the morning, have one at night, but you just can't smoke all day, right? You want to like have a hit here and there, you can do that, right? You do that for 2 to 3 weeks. You just ration yourself to a joint a day. You know what I mean? And then at the end of that, you can start smoking a little more freely, and it's going to take way less to get you high, right? So that's how you do it. A lot of people think tolerance breaks mean you just quit smoking. You can. So you just throttle down. Yeah. Like I've been a little out of control lately, just kind of like chain smoking joints. I still get high, but you know, it takes a little bit more than it should to get me high. So that's what you do. You just ration yourself. You say, all right, here's your day's weed, and you don't touch it after that, you know. But it's been time for me to ramp down for a while. What if you prefer bongs? Then just like grind yourself up a little ration at the beginning of the day. Load up a bowl as much as you want, but when that's gone, it's gone. It's the same concept, right? How long do you go in between the breaks? I don't have like a set system. It's like when I get to the point that I'm kind of at now, where I'm just like chain smoking joints, basically, in order to get the benefit, then it's time. You know what I mean? It's been time for a couple of weeks. That's me. Earth's most vindicated man. Captain Vindication. A man that personifies vindication itself. Fuller bowls throughout the day and smaller bowls when I take them. Got it? Yes, that's right. And you just do that for a couple of weeks, and you'll notice. You'll start to notice even as you smoke, right? You're like, damn, man, fuck, I got high off of that one or two little bong loads. You know, fuck. You'll notice your tolerance going down as it happens. So it's not even really a break for people like me that smoke daily. Like, I'm a maintenance smoker, right? And I smoke for pain management and mental health. So it calms me down. I tend to have really horrible anxiety, and I have a really bad back and bad neck, and so I'm in pain a lot. And so that's how weed is how I've medicated for a long time, and it works. No, that's a decade after the fact. Was there ever a point when the whole Milo thing happened that you were concerned about your career, or did you always know that would peter out into nothing? um, I'm trying to get into the mindset of that time because I've been, like, it's been a long time since I was on DP, and my relationship to the content was way different than it is now, and it has been for the last 6 or 8 years of my life, right? I was an employee. I was a contractor with that company. And if I fucked up, right, to the point where it lost the guy's money or lost the guy's clout or put them in an odd position, my ass was on the line, right? And I knew that. Going into the Milo episode, I was manic as fuck, bro. At that point in my life, I was unstoppable, right? Because I had been, for the longest time, like, a lot was going on in my life around that episode, right? Like, I was in massive upheaval in my personal life. That happened right around the time I got a divorce. You know what I mean? And that was huge because I just basically lost everything. I just started dating someone new, and that was just like, in the honeymoon phase of that relationship. Everything was bright and shiny and fresh. And I was unstoppable, man. There's a real, anybody that's ever dealt with mania can tell you that there's a real fucking, like, seductive power to mania. When a person is, experiencing a little bit of mania, it can be so convincing and so stalwart and so, you know what I mean? And all those are good things. But that's the mental state I was in at the time that Milo episode happened. It's easy to rewrite history as well. Well, yeah, and I definitely don't want to do that, right? I don't want to take something that's now a real distant memory of a time where I was in a very different headspace, right? And try and put a whole bunch of portent on it. I'm gonna give you, like, the honest answer. I don't think I gave a fuck. I don't remember wringing my hands over getting fired over that. I thought it was great. In my mind, when you get the audience riled up and there's tons of people coming over to your channel that have never been there before, that's all good. And I think the guys agreed. But that's, once again, that's through the lens of a pretty distant memory for me, right? So I'm not, maybe I was a little more worried than I remember letting on or whatever, but I don't remember wringing my hands over that. I felt like I was unstoppable at that point, and I felt like I'd done a good thing. Both TJ and Ben warned me about Milo, and I think they probably, if they'd had the inclination to, they probably would have pulled me aside before the show and been like, "Hey, dude, dial Paul's ego down to like 5." But they didn't say that to me. You know what I mean? And then, in my mind, the thing that made me stand out as a guest was me ripping on other guests, right? That is what made me a popular guest on the Drunken Peasants. They would bring me on. I would rip on Kinky Joe. I would rip on the Vigilant Christian. I would rip on Brett Keane and his Island of Misfit Toys, right? That was what buttered my bread as a personality on that show. And so when we had this flamboyantly gay, ultra right wing guy on the show, dude, I was going to have a field day with that unless they straight up told me, don't. And they didn't. So I did. Keep reliving your glory days. I will, Wendell. Keep living in a life that's never had a glory day. That's it. I love the glory days shit. That's always the funniest thing for somebody to say. Dude, is it better to be a has-been or a never will be? You do the math on that. You did something awesome in your life. It's like, wow, sick roast. Bro, I asked him about it, Wendell. Yeah. Well, that doesn't matter. Oh, dude. Does Alki need you to carry his little jockstrap for him? Do you think Alki would be super happy about you being over here carrying his jock? Does he need that from a person like you? Does he need the literal zoo exhibit of my channel carrying his jock? Is he your boyfriend? Oh, a lot of these dudes live vicariously through Alki. Alchemist Soil, the guy that I'm going to be debating 10 p.m. on Saturday. Or I don't know if we're debating. I'll be talking to the dude. He doesn't need it. I'm just hyping him up. Yeah, he's just carrying his little jockstrap for him. You're just being a little cheerleader because you know you can't handle business yourself and you're hoping he does whatever, right? Insby or whatever. But you don't have the sack to put one pinky toe out here. You said you had a life. That's why you couldn't get on Discord, and yet here you still are. 90 minutes in, and Wendell's still attention seeking. You want to step into Discord yet? Or nah? I bet you're scared to face him. Well, I've got a weird way of showing it. I set up the meeting. It was me that reached out and said, "Hey, Phoebes, I know you're in contact with this guy. Set it up." That's an odd way of showing that you're terrified of something, isn't it? Like, if I was terrified of him, wouldn't I, like, run away, refuse to talk to him, right? He's never reached out to me and asked to talk. I asked him to talk. Who seems like they've got a little bit of fear? Who do you think's got butterflies in their tummy over this one? I'll let you work that out, Wendell. You're going to regret reaching out? I never have in the past, bro. I've talked to way bigger and way more antagonistic people than Alki. But keep carrying his little jock, bro. Wish I could debate Paul, but we agree too much. I think so, yeah. I think we're pretty much on the same page on too much. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's something we tear each other up. Is this a guy who refused to talk with you on Discord calling you a pussy? Yeah. Yeah. He's calling me a pussy for setting up a meeting with somebody? That's how you show you're afraid with somebody. Dude, For you, this is going to be the biggest event in the fucking hate subreddit's history. For me, it's going to be a Saturday night. What's this guy's deal? Does he just disagree with you on politics? No, I called him a cokehead once because he was acting like a cokehead. He was in my Discord and being a fucking motormouth cokehead, and I called him on it and banned him, and he's hated me ever since. He comes in on alts. He won't reveal who he is. He won't talk. He won't, you know what I mean? But he will shit talk behind the curtain on alts constantly. But I ask him to step one little pinky toe into reality, and he won't do it because he knows he'll get manhandled. So right now what he's doing is carrying another man's jock strap in here. He's cheerleading another man about a conversation that's going to happen. That's going to be the biggest thing that ever happened in his life. He's going to have buckets of popcorn. It's like you guarantee he's going to be there. And for me, it's going to be a chill late Saturday night. Well, right now he's calling himself Wendell because he can't call himself Brad or Old Sweet Pea because he knows that I would immediately mangle him in front of everybody. He can't reveal that that's who he is. So he's in here carrying Alchemist Soil's jockstrap. Last night, he was carrying Old Sweet Pea's jockstrap around. That's how I know he's Old Sweet Pea, because not a single human being on the planet carries that man's jock, except him. I already told you who I am? No, you didn't. I don't believe you for a second. Yeah, that's who he is on subreddit. You can go look him up. You can go look him up on Reddit. His name is Old Sweet Pea. He's a roided up gym rat with a coke problem who's got a real raging hate boner for me and will cheerlead any autist that says anything about me. Yeah. He's Reddit escaped into the real world, and he's terrified of facing me directly. Because the last time he did it, he looked like a fucking clown in front of a gangly room of people. And I went at him hard, too. Yeah, this is 7-figure construction manager Brad that does lines of coke off of strippers' ass every night and can bench press the world. Yes, it's him. He came in last night under this alt, Wendell Wynn, and started literally like just desperately asking questions about my interactions with the subreddit that Brad runs, and defended Brad and talked to Brad and constantly was Brad, right? And then I was like, dude, why don't you just tell me you're Brad? Oh, I'm not Brad. Oh, that was a good stream. It's a long one, Otello, but it's worth catching up on. Well, I'm doing another one. It'll be on Phoebe's channel on Saturday at 10 p.m. Pacific. You'll have to figure out your own shit. But yeah. Or I'm going to talk to a dude named Alchemist Soil who has a channel filled with videos about me. He's very displeased with me. And give him the chance to voice his displeasure. Yeah, Phoebes is going to moderate, make sure we're not screaming over each other, make sure that everybody gets time to fucking respond and ask questions and redirects and all that, you know. What's her channel called? It's the same as her name. Phoebe Ophi is her channel. The same exact as her name in here. That is her channel name. Watch those lungs, bud. Thanks, people. I will. Watch that coke nose. Watch that dope nose, bro. Keep hitting those darts. I don't hit darts, bro. You got any other subreddit drama you want to drag up, Wendell? Because I'm thinking about maybe putting you back on 10-second timeout restriction. I am now remembering that I did put you on restriction last night, Wendell. You were only allowed to be clever about subreddit drama. You remember that? Until you reveal who you are. Do I need to put you back on restriction? Do I need to restrict the ape's diet? Is the exhibit getting out of line? I think Alki might roast you as hard or even harder than Destiny did. Man, is his jock heavy? Dude, if you're not Brad, you're a professional jock carrier. You better start saying that you are Brad. Because if you're not, you look even more pathetic. There's no win in not being Bradley. Because if you're not, you spent about an hour and a half in here carrying his jock for no reason last night. And I can't even imagine why you would fucking do that. So if I were you, bro, this is just like genuine advice. Turning off the fucking meme for a second. If I were you, I'd just admit. Even if you're not, I'd say, oh yeah, I'm Brad. Because you slung that dude's little jock over your shoulder for an hour and a half straight. So just a little, like a pro tip. Even if you're not Brad, I would say you're Brad. That's the angle I would take. Yeah, that's the angle I would take. If I were you, that's the angle I would take. Because like I said, this is burnt, bro. This is burnt to a crisp, bro. Why is asking about the beef a bad thing? That isn't a bad thing. Carrying the dude's jock for an hour and a half is a bad thing, bro. But you know that, right? Right, Brad? We want to hear the lore. The lore is super short. There is a dude who walks around on he joins communities that are adjacent to the shit that I do. So he's a deep fat fried TJ lurker from way back, right? DP lurker from way back, right? He tells braggadocious stories about how he makes 7 figures being a construction manager. But for some reason, he lives on the internet, right? Somehow he finds the time to live on the internet and be a 7-figure construction manager that's responsible for building high rises in DTLA. He is a cokehead, and he's on gear, which makes you even fucking more unreasonable, stupid, moronic, and unlistenable. He slunk his way into a Discord server that I ran, where the one rule was respect the vibe, and he started packing his nose full of coke every night and steamrolling everybody in conversation. Coke nose bullshit, right? I got sick of it after a couple of days of him doing his little like fucking manic coke nose flex and using everybody else's time to do it. I called him out to his face for being a fucked up cokehead. I called him a liar. I told him if he made 7 figures, I'd eat a shoe. And if he provide me fucking proof of it, I'd eat a fucking shoe live. And then I banned him. And that's it. That is 100% of the lore. That's it. Bro, you realize that everything that you said in that last thing is still available, right? I could go pull it up, right? And we could talk about, well, I don't see how that, dude, how many times did you say, that's a stomping? See, that's what I'm saying. You listen to me talk about how I handled Coke Nose Brad for being a liar, braggadocious liar, and you go, how is that a stomping? If I go back to the last one, you asked that type of question 10 times, guaranteed. That's carrying Brad's little jock. Banning people is not a handling. No, calling them out to their face for being a lying, braggadocious cokehead and then banning them is. And that's why you've been mad at me this whole time, Bradley. You've been packing your nose with coke and dreaming about the day where you could get one up on me. See what I mean? You're carrying the man's jock. How was that a handling? How was that a handling? It's like, who are you to defend this fucking idiot? Why are you so invested in defending a moron? Unless you are the moron. And that's 100% what's going on, by the way. 100%. I know it is. Dude, I'd bet even money that it was. I'd bet even money. This is Coke Nose. It's definitely him. You would know better than me, Bradley. This is other Bradley, by the way, who knows exactly who I'm talking about and has dealt with who I'm talking about. It just reeks of him. Like when I tell him what to do, he goes, I don't do anything you tell me, fat fuck. Like when I tell him, like, hey, you're not going to say this and you can only talk about this. I don't follow your rules, bitch. It's Bradley, dude. It's Coke Nose. Oh, see? I don't even know the guy. I was just asking questions. Now, Brad is a decent guy. Yeah, got it. Got it. I'm not going to stop believing you're Brad by you saying his Israel stance is cringe. What about his Israel stance is cringe? Why don't you talk about Israel a little bit, Wendell? How do you feel about Israel? Do you feel like they're a genocidal nation that should be completely cut off from funding? Are you willing to say that they're committing a genocide? Are you willing to speak out against Israel? You agree? Talk about it yourself. Don't let me talk about it. I want to hear your stance on Israel. Type it out. Type it out. In fact, why don't you get on Discord and tell me to my face what it is? I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear your voice, Brad. You must get away with a lot of shit in your personal life. That's what I think about you is like, and this is a total like out of the dark assumption, but I think it's probably true. I think that you probably have a mom that thinks that you were born in the stars, right? Like you can do no wrong. She'll listen to you and nod her head, and it's like that's what you walk around in the world. I think you walk around in a world where the couple of people you interact with are afraid to say anything to you. That's what I think. And I think a guy like me that isn't afraid of you, right? That isn't intimidated by you at all, right? Making assumptions like a motherfucker, what would you care? If there are assumptions about Brad, why would you care if you're not Brad? You're in here slinging two jocks today. You're carrying Alky's little jock, and you're carrying Brad's little shriveled up fucking roid atrophied jock. His little raisin nuts. You got two jocks over your shoulder. Why are you doing that, bro? You think that's a ponage? Is it a ponage to sling two dudes' little tiny jocks over your shoulder? Like, if you're not one of those dudes, do you think those dudes would want you in here making them look bad? You would not talk to Brad like this in person. 100% I would. And I invite Brad. I know you're not him, Wendell, but you can pass it along. Come to the meetup and get brolic with me and see what happens. I'll say it right to his face. I'll call him a coke nose fuck right to his face, and he won't do shit about it. And if he does, he'll regret it. He's invited. Clifton, New Jersey, November 1st. Dingbats. Tickets on sale soon. Brad's invited. Wendell, you're invited. That's the same invitation. Talks about Brad like they're dating. That's why I know he's Brad. Nobody on this planet carries Brad's jock around for Brad because he's so fucking retarded, except Brad. Nobody is in love with Brad. Nobody is like, Brad's a good guy and a stand-up guy, and you'd never say that to his face. Bro, I'd slap Bradley right in his fucking face. If that motherfucker shows up and talks shit to me, I'll slap him right in his mouth. How you feel about that? How you feel about that, Brad? This is how I know it's him. He cannot resist getting brolic when I talk about Brad. Not Brad, just friends with him. Brad doesn't have any friends, motherfucker. Brad's a cokehead. Brad's got cocaine compatriots. He doesn't have friends. So you think you could beat up Brad? I didn't say that. I said I'd slap him in his stupid, smug face if he talks shit to me in public. I didn't say I could beat him up. Maybe he'll kick my ass, but I will slap his mouth first. But you know what? This is all theory crafting because Brad would never show up in a million fucking years. You know why? Because behind all the roid muscles and cocaine mania, Brad's a fucking weak pussy. He hides behind alts. He pretends he isn't who he is. Doesn't have the balls to cam up or even get on mic and talk to me publicly. He's a pussy. That's how I know you're him. That's how I'm 100% sure you're him. Because nobody in this world sticks up for Brad except for Brad. Brad's a loser. Brad is a roided out, coked out, internet millionaire loser. He's not a millionaire, but he plays one on the internet. Talks about his 7-figure income, but for some reason has 24/7 to sit in my chat, as you guys can see, and talk shit. Never will show up. Doesn't even have the balls to get in a Discord call with me, let alone show up in public and say any of the brolic shit he says. Just a pussy. A pussy. I know what a pussy is when I see one. And it's you. Anything else? How the fuck is he still in here? Because he thinks there's something to be salvaged from this. Because he's Brad. He thinks that if he just keeps arguing, he's going to win eventually. Hey, no. 10-second timeout for Brad right now. 10-second timeout for Brad. He's not allowed to talk to other people. You're not allowed to participate like a normal person. Thank you. You talk to me. You're not allowed to participate like a normal person. If you want to, I've told you what the terms are. You step a pinky toe into reality. Yep, dietary adjustment for the gorilla. We're taking away he banana. Take away he banana. Add more leafy greens. I don't want your Reddit account anymore. I don't believe a word you say. I want to know who you are that comes in here slinging Brad's, of all people in this community, Brad's jock over your shoulder. I want you to get in Discord. I want you to do what you said you would do earlier and then decided you weren't going to do when I said I'm going to know your voice. As soon as Brad keys up, I'm going to know it's him. Then you decided you weren't going to do it and you were just trolling. Remember that? Yeah. Shouldn't you be off the top of a high-rise in downtown LA scoping out them 7 figures? Like, what are you doing in here, bro? This is like the second long ass stream where you've camped the whole thing. It's 121 minutes long right now. The last one was like in 3 or 4 fucking hours, bro. What's up? What's up with that? Hello? Hello? God, dude. This dude is steaming mad right now, bro. Steaming mad. Dude, Brad hates nothing more than somebody that doesn't respond to his internet flex. That's why all these years, it's been over a year since I banned Brad from the first Salt Rackus. And look how booty burned he still is. Look how booty burned he still is. Handling stuff. Mom made me take out the garbage, but I'm back now. I've got my headset on. He was handling stuff, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, every cokehead thinks they're the only cokehead in the world. That's the sad truth about cokeheads that it's the cheat code of cokeheadness. I'll tell you that right now. Cokeheads think they're the only cokehead, but they're a dime a dozen. And that's exactly what Brad's problem is. That's why he fucking hangs out here. That's why he's trying to that's why this is probably his 15th or 16th alt. And I'm being generous there. It could be in 20, 30, 40, 50 at this point. He just lives, I live rent-free in his fucking head. And he's so afraid of facing me in real life that he hides behind alts constantly. But he wants me to believe that he's this big, brolic dude, you'd never say that to my face type of shit. But he won't even show his face. He won't even let us hear his voice. You know what I mean? It's sad. And people don't check people like this enough. There's a lot of people out there that get off on running their mouth because they learn that people de-escalate. I don't do that shit. I give as good as I get. You come in here with fucking bullshit to talk, I'm going to talk it right back to you. And it didn't take me long, did it, Wendell, to figure out who you really are. Because you immediately came in, asked a bunch of questions about Brad, and started defending him. That's not a handling. You call that a handling? It's like, yeah, most people do. Getting called out for being a cokehead and a liar and then getting banned from a community, yeah, that's typically a handling in most people's estimation. You know who it isn't a handling in the estimation of? The dude it happened to. Crazy, right? You guessed I was like 4 different people last night. Landed on the truth, though, didn't I? You know what it was that gave you away, Wendell? Is when I told you what to do, like the little bitch you are, and you were like, I don't do what you do, I don't do anything you tell me to do, fat ass. You know why I know that's you? Because you said that exact thing to me over at your little subreddit that you started. You've got a big mouth. And that big mouth is really identifiable, Brad. Once you've heard 1 or 2 coke rants out of Brad, the Chad, you've heard them all. That immediate snap. You don't tell me what to do, you little bitch. You would never say that to Brad's face in public. That's the giveaway, bro. Nobody is brolic about Brad except Brad. Nobody cares about Brad's little raisinette nuts and male pattern baldness and low-end mop job at a construction site except Brad. Nobody thinks about Brad except Brad. Nobody talks about Brad except Brad. You get it? That was the giveaway. If you wanted to be not Brad, you can't come in here defending Brad. because nobody does that but Brad. I'm friends with him. Brad doesn't have friends, bro. Brad's got coke buddies. He doesn't have friends. Is Brad a more recent development? No, this is years worth of salt we're talking about. We're talking about the last direct interaction I had with this dude was over 365 days ago. It was over a year ago. Sometime early last year, if memory serves. It might have been even the year before that. So we might be working with 2 full years worth of old salt. Brad's cool with plenty of people on Discord. I'm gonna, you know what, Wendell? Quiz. What part of that sentence made me smile and giggle? Do you know? Do you know which part of that sentence almost made me bust out laughing to read it? Oh, wait. Nah? What do you mean, nah? Oh, are you being Brad? You don't tell me what to do again. I'm sorry. It's the on Discord. I give a fuck. Dude, this motherfucker could have 9 million Discord thought friends. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. He's a pussy. He's a chicken heart in public. Because he won't step a pinky toe into reality, and he hides behind alts like Wendell Wynn. Like that helps his case. Brad's cool on Discord. It's like, dude, tell me you're terminally fucking online without telling me. I give a fuck how many furry weirdos you hang out with on Discord. You think that has any bearing on a person's value? I'm talking about real life, son. I'm talking about you being a chicken heart that won't even talk your shit to my face, even though you've got every opportunity to do so. That's what I'm talking about. I'm terminally online. You're camping my shit behind your 50th alt, right? But I'm terminally online. You camp subreddits with 20 people in them that exist only to talk shit about me, but I'm terminally online. Do I need to keep going? I have a reason to be online. You know what that is? I'll give you a hint. Cha-ching! What's your reason? Who's terminally online? I'll wait. I'll wait, Wendell, because I know you're slow. I know your coke-addled, roid-addled brain is like a hamster, like a cancer-ridden hamster with 3 legs trying to run on the wheel. So I'll wait. I know it takes a long time. I'm terminally online. Brad is super cool on Discord. Bro, you said that. It's out there in you publicly said, Brad is super cool on Discord. Bro, you just are, you need to stop, bro. I'm gonna give you some advice, Brad. There are people that will take you at face value on the internet, right? And those people are not your friends, right? But they'll claim to like you. But it becomes real when you step into the real world. And not a single one of those people would ride or die for you, Brad. Not one. You don't have any friends. You're a lonesome, probably jobless dude. He's way more interested in talking about Brad than himself. I wonder why. Why is that? It's crazy. It's crazy. Can we talk about you? At Paul's Ego on Discord. Still waiting. Let me know when you've added me. Because otherwise, you're not allowed to talk about anything other than Discord or Discord drama or subreddit drama. No, on here. Nah. Unless you want to admit that you're Brad. Yeah. Quick face cam. Clear it up real quick who you are. That's all. Like, what is that an ask? I won't even show the people. I will make you the promise. You cam up. Just call me. You ain't got to talk. I will see your face. And if you're not Brad, you're not Brad. I'll tell everybody I was wrong. How's that? I make you a solemn promise I won't show anybody but myself. You cam up, give me 10 seconds to look you over. You move your face around like this. If you're not Brad, you're not Brad. You promise you're not Brad? Your promises mean jack shit to me. Cam up for 5 seconds. I promise I will not show who you are. I won't show anybody else but me. Right? You can hold my feet to the fire, sue my ass, or whatever the fuck you want to do, like a little pussy bitch. If I show who you are, and if you're not Brad, you're not Brad. I'll tell it. I'll tell it like I see it. Take you 5 seconds of your day. Let me know when you've added me. Otherwise, you're Brad. Sorry. Dude, I promise I'm not Brad, bro. I'm just his friend. Yeah. Promises aren't worth the paper that they're inked on. Put up or shut up, bro. You're Brad in here until you prove otherwise. Because I refuse to believe that there's another grown-ass man out there that would carry, of all people, Brad's jock. You have to look forward to somebody else smacking me down because you don't have the balls or the wherewithal to do it yourself. You have no choice but to hope and pray that my career is just absolutely ended on Saturday by another guy. Because you don't have the balls or the wherewithal to face me on your own. Isn't that sad, Brad? You're a cheerleader. You cheerlead greater men than yourself, men that have the testicular fortitude to stand on business. Isn't that sad? Yeah. Isn't it sad that you have to snuggle up and hope some other man ends my career? You've got a chance to end my career right now, bro. I will put you on Discord and let you end my career. Why you got to cheerlead somebody else? Why don't you be the guy that does it? Wouldn't it be cool if you so utterly ended me that I was scared to face alchemist soil because I just knew I couldn't handle it? Hit me up, bro. At Paul's Ego on Discord. Own me. You can't let me hear your voice because I know what your cokehead ass sounds like. You can't let me see your face because I know what your cokehead ass looks like. You're over a barrel, son. I ain't got that kind of time. Bro, we all know that's a fucking lie. So why don't you tell me what the real reason is? You're a pussy. You're a cheerleader pussy that hopes another guy pwns me on Saturday. Dude, pwn me now. Dude, if I'm such a weak bitch, handle my ass. Spank me in front of my whole audience right here, bro. End my career. Straight up coward. Dude, there's nothing worse in the world than a coward. Nothing. Nothing worse. And that's you, Brad. You're a full-blown coward. Because you know I got you pegged, and I had you pegged. And your ego is too fragile to admit it. So you can't call me. You're a coward. Right here it is, boy. Whatever I say, exactly whatever I say. You got no counter argument to it? If you're not a pussy, why won't you end me? Right? It's going to be so simple for Alchemist Soil to just absolutely destroy my career on Saturday. Why don't you do it early? Why don't you beat him to the punch? Whatever you say, man. Now you're trying not to be brawlic because you know I called it out. Fuck you, bitch. I don't do anything you tell me, you fat, sloppy bitch. I know exactly who you are, bro. You know what, dude? I would actually have a modicum of respect for you, Brad, if you just cammed up and were like, all right, I am Brad. You had me on that. But, dude, I would be like, whoa, okay, fair enough. This guy's willing to fucking admit. You know what I mean? He's willing to put a pinky toe into the real world. Cool. And we might even have a cool ass fucking conversation. You know what I mean? You might end up handling me real good. He's better equipped to handle you. Yeah, because he's not a coward. He's not a cowardly, weak little bitch like you. Yeah, he's got nuts in his sack. Yeah. He didn't back off. He didn't put a bunch of crazy stipulations on it. He didn't weasel out of it. He immediately accepted, to my knowledge. Yeah, he's better equipped. He's a man, not a coward. I agree with that. We both agree on that about Alchemist Soil, if nothing else. He's a man who's willing to stand on his principles. You're not. You're a coward. You're an alt coward. Cool? Cool. You see the difference now, or do I need to explain it to you in a different way? Do I need to slow down? I know your brain runs at about fucking 1 RPM due to the coke. Didn't they used to execute people for cowardice? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, they did. How much you want to bet that Wendell is the head honcho? No, he's not the head honcho of anything. Wendell is a bottom feeder in the hate community. Brad didn't have the balls to say. Do you remember? You were there, right, Bradley? The night that I talked to Brad, or were you not? Do you remember how he was just like, yes, sir, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir? That's all he had for me in public. But he has all this brawlic shit for me in private, behind the scenes, made a little subreddit just to talk shit. And now he's here behind an alt. Too gutless a worm to face me. And on the off chance he's not Brad, too gutless a worm to even prove me wrong. Got a dub rung up. If you're not Bradley, big dub, dude. I look like unhinged. All you gotta do is call me and prove you're not Bradley. Cam up for 5 seconds and show me your face, and I'll know if you're Brad. That's it. He called me sir. He was responding to me like I was a military commander as I dressed him down for being a motormouth cokehead that nobody liked. And nobody believed any of his wild stories and bullshit. So every time I said something to him, he would say, "Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir." That's what he had in public. What he has in private is all this brolic bullshit. So, rut-row. It was the same vibe as a manager telling someone they're about to be fired. Yeah, it felt that way. If I was Brad seeing Wendell glazing me this hard, I'd say, "Hey man, chill, you're embarrassing both of us." Yeah. I'd say, "Hey dude, cam up and prove you're not me. Quick. Like, you look like a fucking doofus, bro. You're making both of us look like retards. Just cam up and prove you're not me, bro." But he doesn't have that happening because he is Brad, and Brad doesn't have the mechanism of self-awareness. Brad has coke-nosed his self-awareness completely out of his body. He blew his self-awareness along with a bunch of fucking coke stones out of his nose a long time ago. What can we change the subject to? I don't think we can. I think this has to be the subject. Do-do-do-do. He got scared off. Of course he did. Because I've got him dead to rights. I wouldn't be. He can do nothing but slink off into the distance. Cowards, yeah, that's what cowards do. They run away. When you stand on business, it's not even really standing on business. It's asking people to literally take one toe, put a pinky toe in, and let's talk. You got a problem with me? Let's air it out. Oh no, I got other things to do, and I can't do it. I don't have an account. This is always an excuse. He's not gone. He just ain't talking. He can't. Trust me, he's never gone. If I'd banned this alt, he'd be in here on a different alt today. He's here every day. I live rent-free in his head because I think I'm the only man that's ever dressed him down. And I think he can't let it go. And it sucks because he keeps trying to come at me sideways and keeps getting the same thing. You know what I mean? I dress him down again. So he runs, slithers away, makes an alt, whines about it in private, right? Cheerleads other people who do have the balls, right? Like, if I disagree with one of your takes, I would love to chat. Yeah, well, I mean, you would think. Did Brad ever go to a meetup? Nope. And if he did, I didn't know who he was, and he was quiet as a little church mouse. I'll tell you that goddamn much. Who deserves to be a mod? Oh, Bradley? Yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's not about deserving. I just, but it is good to keep track of people and make sure they don't get accidentally banned or whatever. So there you go. I bequeath modship upon thee. And hallelujah, the angels did sing. A new specter is anointed. Any strategy for debating alchemist soil? No, not really. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I don't even really want to spoil it by preparing watching a bunch of his videos and shit. I've seen enough, and I just want to hear like what he has to say and all of that. You know what I mean? I really don't have much in my pocket that I want to talk to him about, other than, you know, well, number one, I guess, do you kind of regret being a shitbag to my wife? Do you think that that was a good look? And do you think it was a good way to foster any kind of like change in me, right? And two, do you is there a way that if we're both leftists that we could maybe spend some time attacking the same people, or get on the same page enough and agree to disagree on enough that we can just kind of like move forward? And you could maybe make more content about leftism and less content about Paul's ego, that sort of thing. But that's about it. Topically, when it comes to the dude, those are probably the only things I'll bring up. Yeah, no, I mean, it's fine. It just makes you ban proof, I mean, it just is what it is. She's a big girl. It's not like she can't handle it, She did the right thing. She just deleted her shit and moved on, and that was that. She took her lumps. It didn't destroy her world, but it was just from somebody that really knows Amelia, it was a real fucked up and mean thing that they did. And I'm just wondering if it's something that they're just like, yeah, whatever. So that I'll probably, bring that up. And then, just the angle of like, hey, we're both leftists, ostensibly, right? You might think I'm a total fucking scumbag or whatever, and that's cool. I'm not really trying to disabuse anybody of that notion. But is there a way that you think we could come to some kind of agreement on the things that we do agree on, so that, there's less of this kind of like infighting shit and more reaching across and bringing new people in and all of that stuff, right? Because from what I can tell, he's very, very just hung up on my not voting thing, right? And, I'll tell you right out, and maybe I'm wrong about that. Like I said, I've skimmed his shit, and it seems like when there's critique of me, it is, he doesn't like that I think that the Democrats and Republicans are a uniparty. He doesn't like that I grouse for a third party. He doesn't like that. I don't know. Like, it's all. I'm not all in on the Democrats. I'm not. That's what I perceive from him, right? And if there's any way that he could get past that, I think we probably agree on a whole lot of shit. Like, there was a moment, I skimmed one of his things the other day, and there was a moment where he was like, I actually agree with Paul on this. I can't remember what it was. It was like, I was talking about how the military is the enforcement arm of capital. And he was like, yeah, Paul's actually kind of based on this. And it's like, maybe we agree on way more. Maybe it's just like electoral fucking strategy we disagree on. And maybe that's not worth like a whole channel dedicated to tearing somebody's down and tearing their wife down. And existing in these weird subreddits filled with like 20 people that just hate me, right? Maybe like, it'd be better served if we could find common ground and have an interesting talk about that type of shit. But that's his most recent video. Yeah. It was, I can't remember. He was just watching one of my streams, and he's doing like the chunks and stuff. And so I looked at the topics, and it was all Paul stupid. And there was one that was like, Paul right. And I was like, huh? So I clicked on it, and I was ranting about how, people need to, young people in particular need to stop believing that the military won't shoot them. The military will do what they're ordered to do. because the military are not there as protectors of American lives so much as they are protectors of American economic interest. And if American economic interest runs contrary to what the people are doing or wanting, then they will shoot people, and have in the past and will continue to, right? Oh, yeah, Paul's based on that, you know. It's like, well, you know, that's way more important than whether or not my single fucking vote goes to a Democrat next time or not, right? In my world, it's way more important, but probably just fueled by the passion of parasociality. Well, whatever. I'm not trying to, like I said, dude, I watched part of the streams that they did about, or part of the thing that they did about Amelia. I've skimmed the one that they did where they cover me and my dad talking. I skimmed, I guess that's the most recent one. And I don't think I've looked at any other Alchemist Soil videos. If I have, it's on a skim basis, right? I listen to this, I listen to skim ahead a little bit, well, whatever, right? I think it's 2 or 3 videos that I've checked out, so I don't want to put any kind of like assumptions on the dude. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm not familiar with his content, so. Eh, I get that, Holiday. Best way to cope with being hated by people on the internet is stop caring and palm them off. Kyle Kalinske says he doesn't read comments or tweets, but it leaves fans out in the cold. Yeah, I mean, I don't like that. You know, I don't like leaving fans out in the cold. I like to interact with my fans. You know what I mean? And my haters, honestly. It's why I do these. Like, I don't do these just to be like told how wonderful I am 24/7. You know what I mean? I hope that people are going to come in and disagree with me. I like having passionate arguments with people. It's fun when it happens, right? The things that I'm willing to devote passion to are constantly shifting, and maybe some days I'm not really feeling it, but you know, it's one of the things I find fun about this is that it gives me a platform to express passion for the things that I'm passionate about, right? And sometimes that means interacting directly with people that hate your fucking guts or whatever. I mean, these dudes, I get, they hate my guts. You know what I mean? Like, they think I'm just absolutely, from what I can tell, just like the worst goddamn thing that ever happened. And it's interesting to me because it's a very one-sided thing, you know. If you're up for shifting topics, have you seen that documentary on the Titan explosion or implosion? No, I have not. But I will check it out. I heard that, I can't remember what it's on, but I think I've got whatever it's on because I think I saw it. It's on their Hulu or Netflix. That's what I have right now. It's so much worse than, oh yeah, dude. It's gnarly. It's fucking gnarly. HBO Max and Netflix. Okay. Well, I'll watch the Netflix one then. Kyle Kalinske said he's coming to the next meetup. Really? Did he? I told TJ to reach out to him and invite him, and he said he's coming? Dude, what? You better not be leading me astray, dude. Because, yeah, dude, during the last thing. Oh, you're asking me? Use the word is. Is Kyle Kalinske coming to the next meetup? I hope so. I told TJ to fucking send him a text and invite him. You know, I think he lives back east, but I might be wrong about that. He might have moved. Balloon deflated. I know. I thought he heard something that I hadn't heard yet. No. I mean, yeah, he's invited. Of course. I don't know that he will come, but he is more than welcome to come. What's your problem with Kyle? I don't have a problem with Kyle. What's the insinuation that I have a problem with Kyle? I like Kyle. Like, I've had a long association with Kyle. I don't always agree with Kyle, but I don't got a problem with Kyle. Kyle's living in Virginia. Yeah, that's back east. Yeah, question mark would help. The whole nine. You do? You talk shit on him? Wait a minute. So I can't like somebody and disagree with a take that they've had. Is this the kind of world you live in? Because if so, I think you need to turn off the internet, friend. I think you might hang out too much in debate bro circles or some shit. Because that's not how it works. I genuinely like Kyle. I think he's a cool cat. He's always been chill when we've had him on the show. I just have had contention with some of the takes that he's had as of late. That doesn't mean I don't like him. You call him a Democrat shill idiot? I don't think so. But if I did, it was, in a moment of fucking heated passion. I don't think that Kyle is anywhere near as sensitive as you think Kyle is. But yeah, you know. I've called TJ way worse, and he's one of my best friends. Am I held to that standard for every friend that I have? Like what? you know? What are we talking about here? What is this parasociality shit? Online beef, online disagreement means you hate somebody. It's like weird, dude. It's very fucking weird. Yeah, late teens, early 20s. Yeah, not trying to insult. Late teens, early 20s, Luop. Paul chewed my ass once a couple of years back, and now I'm a managing mod. It's not that serious. No, it really isn't. Like, but people take it so fucking serious. Yeah, the internet is real serious business to a lot of people. No. We are the champion. It's got to be Wendy 2.0. Yeah. Man, the quantum computing is way above my dome, bro. Way above my head. It's out of left field. I mean, that's fine. Hey there, Sam. What are your thoughts on the new movie Weapons coming out? New movie Weapons? Like, what? Give me specifics. I don't know that there's been any super exciting movie weapons in movies recently, but maybe I've missed some. you ever play Cyberpunk? Yes, I've played through it 3 times. I didn't finish my third playthrough yet, but I'm still kind of picking my way through it. But yeah, I really loved that game. Yeah, I played through as like a ninja assassin type pistols and swords guy first, and then I did a hacker, like just 100% hacker, and that was like that playthrough almost felt like cheating. It was so powerful. And this last one that I'm doing is a melee only, like fists and blunt weapons and big buff gorilla arms and, very few guns and stuff like that. So I did a full strength and resilience and all of that. So I'm just a big tank. I just run in like a gorilla, jump up in the air, pound the ground, kill about 5 guys, chase each dude down individually, pop my ult if I start taking damage and damage heals me, and I just punch them to death and everybody just dies, bro. Everybody fucking literally just dies. You did a Netrunner build? Yeah, that was my most powerful build. That was my second one. My second playthrough, I just want to do nothing but Netrunner. And that shit was wildly overpowered. It was fun as fuck, but it was just like, dude, I could kill the entire, like, you would get a mission, like, go into this warehouse and kill everybody in it. And I would be able to kill everybody in the warehouse from outside the warehouse. You know what I mean? Like, they never even had an inkling that I visited them, and they're all dead, right? So it felt very powerful. You still stream yourself gaming? Not really. It's one of those things, like, every once in a while I'll do it, but I just don't want to make gaming a part of my job, because I actually, most of the time, enjoy doing it. It's so hard for me to get into games like Cyberpunk when there's too much to do. It's overwhelming. Yeah, I get that. I kind of like that about it, because I feel like I can get on, play for 30 minutes, knock out a couple of icons off the map, you know what I mean? And I made some progress. Maybe I leveled up, maybe I found a new weapon. Cool. Turn it off, play it again, chase an icon down, kill the cyber psycho, or do the mission, finish it up, got a new piece of gear, got a level up. Cool. That's the loop I get caught in with games like that. I liked Dune, but I'm running into the same problem. Oh, yeah, dude. I know what you mean, Pranav. I'm having the same thing with Dune. There's a lot in it. There's a lot to it, and it kind of is one of those games that wants you to play it more. No, don't worry about it, bro. I'm not wasting my money. It was a gift. It was a Father's Day thing. You're one of the best dads I know. I wanted to get you a gift. The gift sucked. It's okay. I'm not butthurt about it, bro. What's a sequel of a movie that was really bad and soiled the original movie? Oh, squirrely. Big squirrely. Bro, it was no big deal. It was no big deal, bro. And I didn't drop $80 on you. I bought the fucking base game or whatever the fuck. So you're fine, bro. Don't worry about it. If you only played it for like 3 hours, refund it, and then it's like I got you a gift card. Yeah, if you've only played like 2 or 3 hours of it and you don't think you're going to play it anymore, file for a refund and they'll send you a gift card for the purchase price. No, you don't refund it back to me. You refund it and you get the money. Pranav, don't even fucking worry about it, bro. You're too caught up in it. It was just a gift. You've gotten me gifts and stuff before, and that's all it was, bro. That is 100% all it was. You don't have to like the gift. You don't have to use the gift. I did it because you're a good dad. That's it. I wanted to get you a game. If I didn't have the money to buy it, I wouldn't have bought it. I know about you and money, and I get it, but come on, dude. I know you pay attention to shit like that, but it's just a gift, man. It's just a gift. I wouldn't have bought it if it was a huge fucking consideration for me, or if I didn't have the money to get you something, right? You're my friend a long time now. It was Father's Day. I don't usually do a whole big deal for Father's Day, but you're a really good dad. I felt like in the moment doing it for you because I thought it'd be fun. Doesn't bother me at all, bro. I'm not like gonna be watching and hoping, I mean, it was just a fucking gift, bro. That's it. But you could refund it and get the purchase price and get you another game that you do like, or get you a DLC for a game that you do like, right? That ain't gonna hurt my feelings neither. I probably ain't gonna play the game much after the next month or two. Like I'm starting to lose interest already. You ain't no feelings hurt here. And if you've only played it a couple hours, you can probably get a refund on it. Then it's like I got you a gift card. You see. 'Cause, yeah, I think if you play less than 5 hours of a game like that, they're pretty good. Pretty good on a refund for you. Is Steam a corporation run enterprise and therefore not run by the gamers for the gamers? Yeah, I mean, no, dude. Hell fucking no. You know me better than that, dude. Like I said, it was a gift. I wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? That is cool with me. That's what I would do. Like if you got me a game and I was like, bro, it's not really for me, and I could get a refund on it, you'd probably want me to do that, right? You'd be like, oh shit, dude, yeah, get a refund and get whatever you want. So like, same goes for you. We're buds. We're bros. You ain't gonna hurt my feelings, bro. If I give somebody a gift, it's a way of me like being like other people. That's it. Because I gotta be honest with you, I am not traditionally a gift giver. I'm not like, I just don't like it. I don't like receiving them. I don't like getting them. I don't like giving them. I would much prefer like just a conversation, but I understand the value that they have, right? And every once in a while, I do get a wild hair up my ass to get somebody a gift. And when I do it, it's from the heart, and that's that, bro. I don't care. Like, what are we doing today? I'm smoking a cigarette, even though I shouldn't smoke cigarettes, but every once in a while I will have a cigarette. I've been pretty good though, you know what I mean? Every once in a blue moon, I chuff a dart, okay? But I'm not at a pack a day like I was. So I'm doing pretty well. Well, I just feel like material. I'm not a materialist, right? If I were to take you guys on a tour of my house, right, which I don't do, I've done before, and I remember thinking like, dude, that was invasive. I don't like that. I like to have a little bit of privacy, right? You guys get to see quite a bit of things that are precious to me out here, right? Because I love this yard, but anyway, if I were to take you into my home and show you my furniture and my walls and stuff, dude, I don't have a lot of shit. I'm not a materialist, right? I have a lot of secondhand furniture and a lot of old knickknacks that I've carried with me. Not even a lot. I have a few old knickknacks that I've carried with me from place to place. Really nothing up on the walls right now. I don't feel the need to put anything up on the walls. Like I live a very simple existence, and so material goods are not how I express affection for people typically, right? And I don't prefer that people express affection for me either. I feel like I'm really fortunate and that I've worked really hard in my life so that I don't have to rely on other people's money and stuff. It always feels weird when my mom gives me money. She'll give me like 20 bucks or 40 bucks on my birthday or some shit. And I'm like, Mom, I'm 45. That'll, I appreciate it, but you don't have to keep, but I know she's not going to let me leave the house unless I stuff it in my pocket. So I do. You know what I mean? And it always feels awkward to me. You know, she's on a fixed income. I make a decent living. You know what I mean? I'd rather not. I just rather not. And something Asians think are weird about us Westerners. Well, I'm not like an expert on like Asian culture or anything, but there are some pretty stark differences, right? There's more of a collectivist bent in Asian culture, not always, not uniformly, but there is a collectivist bent to the history of the Asian regions, right? And the West has a largely liberal democratic bent to it, right? So an individualist bent. Asians really respect their seniors too. I mean, there's a lot of people that respect their seniors in the world here, right? But I see what you mean. I get what you mean. A lot of old people slip through the cracks and stuff here as well. I think people in Asia and Europe probably think our television and movie cultures are weird. I don't know. I think that they're really into Western movie culture and shit. I think it's pretty common in Asian cultures for them to be really like in love with our movies and our music and stuff like that. Well, I'm just talking about not even necessarily Western broadly. I'm talking about American at this point. But I know that like American bands that have fallen out of grace here often have huge careers in Japan and Korea and fucking China and shit. They have a huge like nostalgia for Americana and particularly American style, American music, and American movies are huge over there. So maybe not so much our TV, I don't know. Like, I can't remember what it was. Did we cover it on a show? There's like a town that was built in China that is, it's like an old Western town. And it's the whole point of it is to make a place that feels like it's America, but it's in the mountains of China. So it's like American mainstream culture is super, super popular in greater Asia, right? Dude, I mean, John Mayer, yeah, probably. I haven't heard that, but it seems like it makes sense. But I'll tell you what Japan likes: Megadeth, Slayer. Um, who are some other bands that are kind of like, yeah, you know, they're old nostalgic bands, but they are huge over there, like Winger, uh, the Scorpions, Journey, any old like 70s, 80s metal bands are fucking huge in Japan. There is a huge, like, nostalgic Americana metal punk scene in Japan. Looking forward to Saturday. Cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thanks for I wanted to tell you too, thanks for being so open to like hosting it and stuff. I'm sorry I like tossed that in your lap, but I thought you would be the appropriate person to do it since you talked to the dude already. You had a good rapport with him. I thought you'd probably be the person to reach out. I don't know how to get a hold of the dude. So thank you for that. That's cool of you. And like I said, once again, I'm agnostic to time. As long as I don't have something planned, I'll do it whatever day. So, you know, yeah. No, it's all good. Yeah. Saturday at 10 p.m. PST. So it's going to be kind of late for you, but hey, it's a weekend. On Phoebe's channel, which, by the way, everybody that's interested in it, click on Phoebe and go to her channel and subscribe so you don't miss it, because I'm not going to be streaming it anywhere. I might do a stream prior to it, just like as an announcement thing, so that I can send people over to Phoebe's stream. But I will not be streaming it on mine because I want Phoebes to get all the donations for my end of it. I'm not putting that restriction on Alchemist Soil. He can do a stream if he wants, or they can just do it on Phoebe's thing. He can film it if he wants, put it up as a piece of content, whatever he wants. Yeah, no stipulations or restrictions or anything like that. So it should be fun. Yeah, I'm hoping, you know what I mean? I'm hoping there's a little bit of fire and a little bit of fun. That's what I'm, content is fun. Content should be fun and fiery and passionate, and hey, who knows, maybe we find a little common ground. Maybe it's not as contentious as you would assume it would be given his videos and stuff. I don't know. We'll see. Cheers, cheers. He hasn't had a stream yet, but it'll be uploaded as content on his end for sure. And yeah, he's looking forward to both of you getting fiery. Cool. Yeah. Just don't let it get so fiery that we're talking over each other, because that's a huge pet peeve of mine. Like, as a piece of content, the reason why I asked you to step in and moderate is not to like shut him up or to shut me up necessarily. It's just to keep us with our allotted kind of time. You saw how TJ ran the fucking Jamie Darkey thing, right? So just like that, just make sure we're on topic and we're not, because I just don't want to have like a screeching match where we're both screaming over each other and jockeying for talk time. That's just not the way to do this. Describe your relationship with death in a single word or sentence. Acceptance. I don't know. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I don't dread the day that I die. I think everybody does to a certain extent. But it's a dread that my experience here will be over. It's not a dread of what is coming. It's a dread that, this could be my last breath. This could be the last day that I get to see my wife's beautiful face. This could be the last day that I get to pet my dog. This, that is dreadful to me. But it's not fearful. I'm not afraid of moving on, moving away, right? That's okay. Oh yeah. The Jamie Darkey debate was shouty, but it was shouty like we weren't shouting over each other. We had, hey, I don't want it to be totally, and by the way, Phoebes, I'm not like, and you can do whatever you want. Like, I asked you to run this, but this is just on my end, right? Like, we don't have to have these pre-defined topics or whatever. It can be very kind of like Q&A. I'm fine with that. He's probably going to have a lot more questions for me, so I'm fine with that too. But yeah, you don't have to, we don't, there, unless he absolutely wants to make it this like hyper specific topic. I don't think he will, but if he does, I guess I'm okay with that. But I would prefer that it just remains topically free and breezy. Let him bring up whatever he wants. Let him get out what he wants to say, right? And then I get to respond to that and get out what I want to say, and then we go back and forth, right? And then if he wants to change the topic, I'm chill with that, right? Because like I said, I only have a couple of things I think I'd even ask him about. I'm not super familiar with his stuff. So it's more than likely going to be him kind of questioning me. Dude, one of your best lines you've ever said was to Worski, I didn't come here to talk, I came here to fuck on you, Worski. Yeah, that was a fun one. That was a fun one. Worski was over a barrel at that point in his life, and you know what I mean. That was a pretty fun one. Do you fear that your mentality about death will worsen as you age? It's actually gotten what I consider to be better. I used to really, really, really walk around in fear of death. And as I've gotten older, my perspective on it has changed. So it's actually the inverse has been true so far. You know, maybe that'll change. Maybe it'll reverse again and I'll get super afraid again, but I don't think so. Those weak tactics probably won't work on alchemist soil. What tactics? What tactics are we talking about? I don't plan on using any tactics, by the way. Talk to the dude, right? Hey, Brad, I know. It's so sad. It's immediate. Yelling at him, trying to get him flustered. I don't yell at people to get them flustered. I yell at people because I'm genuinely passionate. Huh? Luop ain't gonna answer no questions, bro. Yeah, Wendell was in here earlier, Phoebes. He disappeared when I backed him into a corner. And now he's back as Luop. It is what it is, though. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. You know, whatever. I always enjoy a good back and forth. If I didn't, I wouldn't seek them out. You know what I mean? So I think it'll be fun. And hopefully, you know, boosts Phoebes' signal a little bit. Just some new eyeballs. Get her some donos. Get a dono train going. If you ever had to stop, what did you drink as an alternative to soda? I've never had to stop. When I was in my 20s and teens and shit, I drank a lot of just regular ass soda. And when I got into my mid 20s, like or early 30s, I started drinking diet soda, which is not like super healthy for you or anything, but it is an alternative to pouring a bunch of fucking sucrose into your system or whatever the fuck, right? So I started started drinking that. Now I don't drink much soda. I have a big glass of soda with dinner sometimes. I'll sip on soda sometimes on a hot day. Every once in a while, I'll be like, I'm going to get a glass of soda. But I'm not like constantly chugging soda. Most of what I drink on a daily basis is water and coffee, right? I drink about a cup, maybe 2 cups of coffee a day. I drink 2 big cups like this of water at least a day. And if I sneak a fucking glass of soda or something in there, that's what it is. Bro, be drinking 2 liters of soda like it's a shot glass. Yeah. Yeah, when I sit down and eat dinner and stuff, I will pour myself a big old glass of soda, man. I like soda. Yeah, it's a very Brad insult. Very Bradish. Very Bradish insult there that he's got, if I may say so myself. And I do. I do say so myself, by the way. I 100% do say so myself. That is very Bradley-ish. Oh, nothing, Luop. Dude, somebody gotta stop that Badlands Chugs guy. Dude, he's got a new intro where he's drinking the ocean. Hi from Ukraine. Hi from the United States. Remember when you had that cap with the Soviet sub patch and everyone was calling you a commie? That was a while back. Yeah, I still have that hat. It's got it's got an American sub on it, the USS Batfish out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. And then it has a Soviet era pin on it. It's Cold War the hat, basically. These have been good streams, man. Had some long ones recently, but I digress. I'm done. I will see you guys.